You're listening to BD Daily Tech News Podcast, daily insights on technology and innovation. Today is 2025, December 15th, and the theme is simple. AI is growing up, and the bills are due.
So we're doing the tech equivalent of cleaning your room before your parents get home, except the room is the internet and the parents are reality.
3 stories. 1. The Great AI Hype Correction of 2025. 2. Nvidia reportedly considering ramping up H200 production to meet surging demand in China. 3. GNOME bans AI-generated extensions. Different corners of tech. Same question. Can we trust what we're building?
Trust is so low right now that if my toaster says it's AI-powered, I assume it's going to hallucinate bread.
Story 1. The Great AI Hype Correction of 2025. The headline idea is that the industry's expectations got ahead of what today's models reliably deliver, and now we're seeing a reset. Less magic talk, more scrutiny on cost, accuracy, and real-world usefulness.
So it's not AI is dead, it's AI is grounded. Like no more promising it'll cure taxes and do your laundry emotionally.
Exactly. Simple version of the tech. Most consumer-facing AI is still pattern prediction. It's like an autocomplete that read a huge library. It can be brilliant, but it doesn't inherently know what's true, so reliability depends on guardrails, data quality, and verification.
So when my chatbot says, according to the FDA, you can store chicken in your sock drawer, that's not innovation. That's a lawsuit speedrun.
Why it matters for normal people. You'll see fewer flashy features and more boring improvements. Better search, better summaries, better customer support, plus clearer limits. For teams, the correction usually means budget shift from demos to deployment, evaluation, monitoring, and cost control.
We're leaving the vibes-based roadmap era. No more shipping a feature called Magic Brain that's just a button that emails your data to a server farm.
Actionable takeaway. Treat AI features like you treat a new financial product. Ask 3 questions. What's the failure mode? What's the ongoing cost? And what human process is it replacing or quietly adding? If the answer is it adds a new job called AI babysitter, that's part of the price.
I love that. AI babysitter is real. It's like adopting a Junius puppy. It can do tricks, but you cannot leave it alone with your important documents.
Story 2. Nvidia reportedly weighing ramping up H200 production to meet surging demand in China after lobbying to approve sales. This is a supply and policy story with technical consequences. More of a specific accelerator in one region can reshape what models get trained and what products get built.
So somewhere a spreadsheet just said, we need more expensive rectangles immediately, and the rectangles decide the future.
Simple version, these GPUs are like industrial kitchens for AI. The more ovens you have, the more you can cook. Bigger models, faster training, more experiments. But capacity is constrained by manufacturing, packaging, memory supply, and allocation decisions.
And if you don't get an oven, you're out here with an easy bake model, training it with a light bulb and hope.
Why it matters for everyday users. Hardware availability influences what features show up in apps and how expensive they are to run. If compute is scarce, companies ration features, raise prices, or push more processing onto your device. If compute expands, you may see faster iteration, plus more AI everywhere, whether you asked or not.
That last part is key. Nobody wakes up and says, please add an AI assistant to my flashlight app. Yet here we are, living in the future we didn't click accept on.
Actionable takeaway for builders. Plan for volatility. If your product depends on specific cloud GPUs, design a degrade gracefully mode, smaller models, caching, or hybrid on-device options. If you're a user, prefer tools that can export your data and don't lock core value behind a single vendor's compute pipeline.
So don't build your whole life on one GPU queue. It's like planning dinner around one microwave at the office. Someone will reheat fish, and your roadmap is over.
Story 3. GNOME bans AI-generated extensions. The GNOME Shell Extension Store updated review guidelines to say extensions must not be AI-generated. Developers can still use AI as a tool, but if the extension's code shows signs of being AI-generated, it can be rejected.
GNOME said, "We are not running a haunted house of copy-paste code." And honestly, good for them. My laptop already has enough mysteries.
Simple version, extensions hook into your desktop shell, so they can affect stability, performance, and security. Imagine your phone is a house, and extensions are people you give keys to. GNOME is saying, don't hand out keys to code nobody can confidently maintain or explain.
Because it worked in my prompt is not a maintenance plan. That's a confession.
Why it matters? This is a signal that communities are drawing boundaries. Not anti-AI, but pro-accountability. If AI-assisted code increases review burden or introduces subtle bugs, maintainers pay the cost. Policies like this try to keep the commons usable.
Open source maintainers are basically unpaid air traffic controllers. They don't need 1,000 mystery planes landing because someone discovered generate extension and got excited.
Actionable takeaway if you code. If you use AI, make it auditable. Write tests. Add comments explaining intent. Keep commits small. And be ready to own the code long term. The standard is shifting from can you generate it to can you maintain it.
And if you're not ready to own it, don't ship it. That applies to code, subscriptions, and also impulse buy treadmills. Same principle.
Quick recap. The AI hype correction is pushing the industry toward proof, not promises. Nvidia's H200 supply decisions show how compute constraints shape what's possible and what's affordable. And GNOME's ban highlights a new era of software gatekeeping focused on maintainability and trust.
So the vibe is fewer magic tricks, more receipts, which is great because I can't pay rent in disruptive synergy.
If you want more fast, clear tech news with a little bite, subscribe to BD Daily Tech News Podcast and leave a comment. Where have you seen AI add real value versus just adding noise?
Also, if your flashlight app has a chatbot, blink twice for help. See you next time.